Sorry, Atul? Can you just tell the names? Chairman is Atul.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. First of all, I welcome to all members present here in the first program of CIRC of ICI. I welcome our own Central Council member, CA Shri Priya ji, CA Atul Mehrotra ji, our Chairman, CA Rajiv Gupta ji, Treasurer of CIRC of ICI, and dynamic lady, CA Manisha Viani, Regional Council member. I welcome all. Just a quote only. Without her, hero is only zero. So, happy Women's Day to all Chartered Accountants female members. And I hand over the session to today our moderator, CA Manisha Viani.
Thank you so much, Lokesh. Moving forward, a very good afternoon to Central Council member CA Shri Priya Kumar. Also, we will have CA Preeti Shavla ma'am, Central Council member, will be joining us soon, who's the second guest speaker. And then we have CA Soumya Ram Iyer. She's a corporate trainer and a soft skill coach. She will be taking the third session. Above all, we also have a chief guest for today's session. She is not a CA, she is Lakshmi Singh ji. She is a IG, Inspector General of Police from Lucknow. So she'll join us shortly. I extend my good afternoon wishes to CIRC Chairman, CA Atul Mehrotra, sir, CA Lokesh Maheshwari, Secretary of CIRC, and CA Rajiv Gupta, Treasurer, CIRC. Very good afternoon to the passionate, strong, elegant women out there in the audience today. Women of Tomorrow is the theme of the program today. She is clothed with strength and dignity, and she is without fear for the future. She laughs aloud. She can do everything. So with these words, I would like to request CA Atul Mehrotra, CIRC Chairman, to give his welcome address.
Thank you, Manisha ji, the team member from our CIRC. Very respected, Honorable Lakshmi Singh ji, the IPS, IG Lucknow, the chief guest of today's program, in her absentia. Respected CA Preeti ji, Central Council member, respected CA Supriya ji, CCM, and respected CA Soumya ji, along with my newly elected office bearers of CIRC for the year 22-25. Kishore Badia ji, Vice Chairman, Lokesh Maheshwari ji, Secretary, Rajiv Gupta ji, Treasurer, and Anil Yadav ji, Chairman SICASA. Very good afternoon to all of you. As we all know that without the woman, without the female member, we are nothing. And we are celebrating it as an International Women's Day. So we are gathered here. Today is the day when we celebrate all the amazing women who have made massive contribution to our nation and the society at large. Women have achieved great things, be it in profession, science, commerce, health, politics, or any other field. Their achievements are equal, if not more, than those of men. Each of us needs to ensure that women get equal opportunities to realize their true potential and contribute for the nation building. This day of women's, it's my personal view that since my childhood or any person's childhood, we are going through a long process to achieve anything in our life. But just imagine I request we all should visualize with our closed eyes for 30 minutes. क्या ये सब हमारे किसी भी महिला माता जी हो, हमारी बहन हो, दादी हो, किसी के बिना भी जिनका सपोर्ट हमारे जीवन में हर कदम पे हर समय पे रहता है, क्या पॉसिबल है? आंसर इज नो. So very happy Women's Day to all the ladies who have made this world a better place to live. They need not to fight for equality with men. It's my personal view, because they are already better than the men. So there is nothing impossible in the world for a woman, because she is born with the dedication to make everything possible. ये मेरा पर्सनल व्यू है और हम लोग मानते भी हैं, बट हम रियलाइज नहीं करते अपनी लाइफ में, बिकॉज देयर मे बी सम सुपीरियरिटी कॉम्प्लेक्स. प्लीज डोंट, हमारे मेल भाइयों से, मेंबरों से निवेदन है, बुरा मत मानिएगा मेरी बात का कि मैं कानपुर की अपनी लोकल भाषा में मैं फीमेल्स को मक्खन लगा रहा हूँ, ऐसा नहीं है. इट इज ट्रू. सो वी शुड वैल्यू एंड क्रेडिट द वुमेन for their contribution and support them. Go. Once again, I congratulate all the females, and I hand over the mic to the today's MOC of this program, Manisha ji. Thank you so much. Thank you. Over to Manisha ji.
Thank you, Atul sir, for your beautiful way of explaining everything. It really touched us. Now, moving on, I would like to invite CA Sri Priya Kumar, Central Council member, to elaborate on the topic Women in Leadership Role. She being herself into it, being our leader, being our representative in the Central Council. I would like to give a brief introduction of Madam. She has been a Central Council member and has completed her articleship from Price Waterhouse, Chennai in 1996. And then she was employed with Ford India Limited and Price Waterhouse Coopers, after which she commenced private practice since 2001. Laws and forensic audit professional. She is also a registered insolvency professional and is presently the managing partner of SPR and Company, a new generation CA practice. After a stint as a member of the SIRC of ICAI during the 2013 to 16, she has served as a member of the Central Council of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India in 2016 to 19, and now again she is there from 2022 to 2025. She has taken the first e-learning initiatives of the 70-year-old institute, and as a founder member of the Indian Institute of Insolvency of the ICAI, has also launching the learning modules for the limited insolvency examinations. She has served on the executive, examinations, and managing committees of the institute, and was chair review reporting board CPE committee. She has been actively engaged for ICAI in the areas of advocacy, professional knowledge, professional opportunities, and most importantly, public trust vis-a-vis ICAI. She was also nominated by ICAI to the MCA committee involved in drafting the corporate insolvency regulations to the insolvency code, as lend support to the IBBI. Sri Priya Madam also operates a small and medium professional knowledge sharing initiative called Smart CA, which aims to support the small and medium practitioners. An accomplished speaker in the areas of risk management, corporate laws and insolvency, and has addressed over 500 sessions to date in various forums of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, cost accountants, company secretaries, bar council, insolvency professional agencies of all the three professional institutes: IBBI, Training College of C&AG, NASSCOM, CII, Income Tax, GST, and ICLS, the training agency of the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So many feathers in your cap, Madam. It's a pleasure that we have with you here as a speaker. Now we would like to invite you to give your words of wisdom. Thank you.
Could I be unmuted on the other computer as well? I mean, possible? I just want to check if my computer is working. So if I'm able to speak from there, it'll be more convenient. Otherwise, I'll continue from my phone.
I think, ma'am, you're speaking from the computer and you're audible.
No, I'm actually speaking from the phone.
Okay, okay.
Can you just try unmuting me on the computer? I've logged in 2 devices.
Ma'am, it's unmute in your laptop. It's showing, and it is a mute in your mobile that's visible on the screen. So, yeah.
No, I think I'll take it from my phone. I'm audible?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm audible and visible, right? Yeah, thank you very much. Say Atul Mehrotra ji, the chairman, Secretary Lokesh Maheshwari, the treasurer, Sri Rajiv Gupta, Manisha Biani, CRC member, Mr. Arun Malu, Sikasa treasurer, the Sikasa, yeah, yours is Sikasa as well. It starts with a C. And all the wonderful chartered accountants, men and women who are attending this meeting. Here's a very, very hearty good afternoon to all of you. Namaskar, and wishing you a very, very happy Women's Day. I have been asked to come here today, and I'm truly privileged, honored, and with Manisha's smiling tone, I just couldn't refuse. So today's been a day of webinars. So I requested for a 3 p.m. slot, and she very graciously agreed. So thank you once again. And I must say something about the colleagues from the Central Region and the Central Council. Each of them are members par excellence. One can actually, and for me, whether it's this council or the earlier council, it's been a constant source of inspiration and learning to know your Central Council members from your region and interact with them. And as the president would often say, they're sort of the jewels of the council. So I've been actually asked to share some perspectives on women leadership. So here's where I start from the Bhagavad Gita. There's a very nice shloka in chapter 10 of the Bhagavad Gita. And it goes like this. Mrityu sarva haraschaham udbhavascha bhavishyatam kirtir shrivakcha narinam smrithir meda dhriti kshama. So this is Krishna, Lord Krishna, and he says, among effeminate qualities, and these qualities are supposed to be essentially feminine, he says, I am fame, fortune, speech, memory, intelligence, faithfulness, and patience. And of course, the chairman also made a very nice speech today, and he says, oh, the women are definitely there and they're better than us. And do we need any more stamps to tell us that we are good? Now, we finished with mythology, and now I'll move to history. The history is replete with women achievers, whether it's the Rani of Jhansi or many, many ladies that we see in history who have outperformed their similar male counterparts in many situations. Roll back to contemporary world history, contemporary India, we've had Mrs. Indira Gandhi, we have our own finance minister, Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman, Honorable FM, we have Mrs. Smriti Irani, we've had presidents and heads of states from Southeast Asia, we've had Sri Mavo Bandaranaike. So I think, again, talking of history, we have lots of women achievers. Now, going back even to mythology, I don't know how many of you know, but the earliest women, the Vedic scholars, there were 2 very eminent women called Gargi and Maitreyi. So historically speaking, I think we've been through this. Now here I must make a small comment. We're largely, this women are looked at like some diffused mass, and then they select and say, oh, she's an achiever. I don't think so. I think every single woman in this world is an achiever par excellence in the spaces that she wants to achieve. I'm sure there are many members here whose wives are perhaps not chartered accountants, but I'm sure that stamp of excellence and accomplishment is already innate in any woman, whether she's running a family or whether she's in a profession. And I must consider this audience truly privileged. And why? Because we are educated. We've had privileges that have been offered to us. And just 1 minute.
Ma'am, you're on mute.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. Just had a small exigency to attend to. So I think each one on this, people in this audience is truly privileged. And why are we privileged? Because we've got education. And education is empowerment. And education, I think, is leadership. Which is why this time when I have Ms. Preeti Savla with me, who's the the vice chairperson of my committee, we decided that it's time that women moved from empowerment to excellence. And that's going to be the theme of all the work that we do this year. Now, talking about women eminence and women leadership. Now, where is the challenge? This is especially for the women in this audience. In my own experience, I've categorized women. A predominant challenge for us is parenting. That's both a challenge and a pleasure. So I broadly see 4 categories of women. One is sort of the surrogate parents. For example, I bank a lot on my mother. So she does a lot of the parenting and I'm like the grandparent. The second is to be a normal parent, to set normal expectations for your children. Okay, 80% is okay till they come to class 10, class 12, etc. They do 1 extra class a week. And then there's a third category, which is the super parents who want to take their children continuously to classes, etc., etc. Chess, basketball, then there's a language learning class, and then there's school. And you as a parent want to be there continuously. That's a super parent. Hyper parent is where you not only do it, but you have this group of mothers in a class who all work together and spend a lot of time on these extracurricular activities. At some point in time, I think we must all appreciate, and this is especially for the women, that you've completed your course and forget about making money. But I think being in the profession gives you a high. It's that high that must want to propel you to do something more. I'm not saying you need to, sort of discard your family responsibilities, but I'm sure they can be managed. Now that's the point, second point that I wanted to make. So I think it's up to us to find the time. And it's also a gene pool issue. Over years and thousands of years of civilization, men have been the providers and women have been the nourishers. So obviously, that's why you call this as the maternal instinct. Wherever I am at 9 o'clock, I know my daughter will be somewhere outside in my campus and she needs to get back home. And that's the 6th or the 7th sense of being a parent. So that's something that's indispensable. You are the mom. You can't change that, and you love to be that. Now, I find there are 2 terms which are very interesting. One is called synthesis and one is called compromise. I think women choose the compromise option, which means doing this or that. Why? Simply because it's more convenient. I'd encourage more of us to do the synthesis option, which is to be able to do this and that. And synthesis often means a bit of an effort. If you've got somebody helping you for the cooking at home, make an Excel spreadsheet for the month's menu and give it. Ensure that your things are in order. Ensure that your children understand that this is their time and this is your professional time. Share experiences with your family. It's okay. One client comes today, you have a good day. Go tell your mother-in-law. I tell my mother everything. I tell my spouse everything. I tell them what I'm going through in life every day, good or bad, whether it's with the children or with the family. I think when you do this constantly, they learn to appreciate and respect that you would like to do something in a leadership space. And by leadership, many of us choose multiple options. Some of us want to lead our offices. Some of us want to work with social organizations. Some of us want to work in the industry and become leaders. Some of us aspire for council positions, the regional council. Nothing is easy, but everything is possible. And that's the first statement on leadership, especially for women. Nothing is easy, everything is possible. Now, the second thing about, so this importance of not being the hyper parent is one. Two, the ability to synthesize rather than compromise is very important for leadership. Now, the Honorable FMN, I had read somewhere in the newspapers, had actually made a statement saying there is a dearth of women independent directors. And similarly, how many of us, aspire to get to the next level on professional practice? So today, the third thing about leadership is not going to come and walk to you and say, it's served on a platter. Some of us who do have a legacy advantage of having parents either in the industry or politics, or then there you may have a platter advantage, but almost invariably, I think most of us, including me, don't have a legacy advantage. So you have to say, if I want something, I've now convinced my house that that's important to me. It gives me a high, and I'd like to respect me as a person. The next is to actually set your target and say, okay, this is something that I aspire to do. Again, it doesn't really matter. You win some, you lose some, it's fine. The fourth important thing for women, I think, is to pace yourself. And I can give you my own example. I started practice sometime in 2001. And I think I worked 24/7. I didn't take a single day off until 2010. And it was a very funny kind of, I think things are maybe slightly different, but I found it very difficult for people to work with me, because when I would interview somebody, he'd say, oh, you're the partner here. And then, they're wondering whether to join or not, whether I could guide them, whether I can, would pay their salaries, etc. These are those little challenges that, like Lord Krishna says, your communication skills are much better. Your leadership skills are good. You have patience. You groom your teams and make it happen. So that's the third thing about wanting to be a leader, is to carry people with you. And it works very, very successfully in the case of women. So I started practice in 2001. And by 2010, I said, look, I'd like to do something more. So I contested for the regional council elections, won the regional council election. I served one term in the regional council and then decided, look, I would like to aspire for the central council, because I thought my skills may be slightly better utilized there. So I served in the council from 2016 to 19, which was the next concurrent election that happened. But sometime in 2019, 2018, I felt I needed to take a break, because I was there in this for 6 years and every single day was hectic. And my children and my spouse were going through some, fairly important periods of their education or careers. And so I decided, take a break. What's going to change? And I had people actually telling me, no, you must stand because you will win. I said, no, I'd like to stand for an election because I want to stand, and not simply because I want to win or somebody else would come in. So I decided to give it a break. And then I contested again in the elections in 2021, put in a lot of hard work, obviously. And by the grace of God and by the affection of everybody, and a significant part of our electorate, like the rest of the country, is men. So without the man's support, I couldn't have obviously made it to this position. So that's the other thing that I'd like to appreciate. I am not a feminist in any sense of the word, because I believe that the world was created to be equal, that we play complementary roles with the men. I'm extremely conscious of the fact that, I had my father, my husband, and all of them have significantly influenced the way I operate today. And I'm eternally grateful for the men in my life. And this is a very nice relationship with men, whether it's professional or personal. I think they are interrelated and interdependent on each other. I don't think as a woman professional, you can get there without the support of men. And I don't think the men are bad, at least in the societies where we operate with chartered accountants. A lot of times I've been asked whether in the council, did you see any bias? I said, not at all. Not at all. And I think if there is, if somebody can stand up for this, in believing that ICI has been an exemplary advocate of diversity, then I think I would be an example. I've shared a very, very happy professional engagement with all my council colleagues who are men. So that's the third thing, is the ability to understand that men are an essential part of this ecosystem. Now, the fourth thing is, again, it's not always that men grow up with women who have been a little, sort of independent. So, you're very conditioned by how you've seen your sisters and your mother. So the men take a little more time to understand that being loud or being very clear is not a sign of pride. I'm not proud, but I like to articulate clearly. So that's something in leadership. Today, even in running an office, I call my article assistants in plural, like you say, right? It's not come, I say come G. So I realized early on in life that you'd have to travel that little extra mile to put in that little extra humility, whomever you're dealing with, and to treat people very fairly. Because very often when a lady is sort of, when a man is very articulate, he's confident. If a lady is very articulate, then it's sometimes sensed as being proud. So these are things that you learn in your journey to leadership, that you go a little bit slow. But I must also tell you one thing. The next lesson in leadership would be, nothing works like merit. This is where I think some of us need to put in that extra effort, because you have multiple responsibilities, but you still need to find the time to read and upgrade your knowledge. Now, they say knowledge is power, but I think in this new millennium, knowledge is not power, it's life itself. But here, I noticed that women leaders possibly have an advantage. Now, other things being equal, if my knowledge level is as good as a male colleague, then my chances of getting noticed are that much possibly higher, because people tend to come in the professional domain. So it's, picking one amongst a smaller base. So that I think is a very important lesson in leadership, is to want to excel in your knowledge front. There's no substitute. And today, Thomas Friedman said this is a flat world. It's an absolutely flat world. Way back in the early 2000s, when I was trying to do one, international tax certificate, this Form 15CB, 15CA, I would call one of my friends who's got a large firm and say, okay, what is the DTAA saying? But today, everything is available on the internet. Today, if you want to check audit expectation, a UK report, it's there available on Google. You need to look no further than Google for your guidance and direction. And my only request to women is, study, keep reading all the time, have something, keep on just imbibing whatever knowledge you can. The next lesson in leadership is communication. So in terms of communication, I think it's very critical that one learns to communicate clearly. And I'll just summarize it in 6 alphabets for you. It's A, B, C, D, E, and F. And please remember, language is just a medium. I speak English today because I'm comfortable with English. If you're comfortable in Hindi and your client is comfortable in Hindi, that's about it. So the language is never a barrier to communication. One's thought process is. But in whatever you speak, ensure you're accurate, you're brief, you're clear. That's A for accuracy, B for brevity, C for clarity, D for diction. The language that you speak should be clear in its diction. Empathy. I think that's the biggest thing about leadership and communication. Today, let's say I'm working in the committee and I have a secretary who says my daughter's not well. I need to get my work done, but the fact is her child is not well. So that's where you play an empathetic role. You say, okay, you work from home, but please be there on the phone. And I think this ability to give and take is essentially very effeminate. I think it just comes to us effortlessly. I mean, if somebody calls and says, I'm not well, I say, please don't come. But then it doesn't work all the time. And F is a flare. A lot of us, and again, another thing is, I think all of us must aspire to be good communicators. Because I think that's the first sign that you can lead an organization or any role that you choose to play. So this is what I'd like to summarize about some perspectives on leadership. Knowledge, making the time to read, synthesize versus compromise, being a normal, happy parent, and I think this, you just need to put somebody on mute. Yeah, thank you. So these are what I've seen on leadership, and the last thing about leadership is you must have an inspiration. It could be a person, it could be a position, it could be just yourself. If you are capable of inspiring yourself through an auto-suggestion process, nothing like it. But a lot of us look up to somebody and say, look, I want to be like her. I want to be like him. That's very nice to do. So these are some of my thoughts on women leadership. And so as I had mentioned in the beginning of my address, the Women Members Empowerment Committee with my vice chairperson, which is Preeti Savla, want to move from empowerment to excellence. So we're still brainstorming, and these are some of the big things that we'd like to do. Number one, we want to do leadership programs for women, not the normal CPE, Schedule 3, CARO, anyway you're learning it. But what is it that we can do extra for the women to actually bring out greater confidence and greater leadership skills? So we'd like to focus on leadership development workshops. The second huge gap I see is number of women faculties. I don't know about your region, and the number of women resource persons across the country. I wouldn't say they aren't there, but I think they are undiscovered. There are very good speakers who are women, but who are not discovered yet. We'd like to discover them. We'd like to nurture them. And we do millions of CPE hours. I'd like them to participate more. That's our second agenda. Third, I read a very interesting article which had quoted the finance minister, Mrs. Sitaraman. And she has said, look, I'm not able to find women directors. Where are they? I have a challenge. And parallelly, you see, there are lots of Indian companies where women are mandated to be directors on boards, and those are not filled. Now, in this, Preeti Savla and I have an advantage. We also happen to be the chairperson and the vice chairperson of the Corporate Laws Committee. So one thing is to say, okay, we have a position, we've created a data bank. So, but who's going to pick them? Unless you tell them that these women are available. So I think we want to do an outreach program this time, both with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and with corporates themselves who ought to have women directors, to tell them, look, here is our base. And in the meantime, we're also going to work on training the base. Obviously, no one can make a commitment here. If you've attended an 8-hour training program, you're going to become an independent director. No. But today I realized that every training that you go through has multiple benefits. So today I not even I have been on the boards of companies, a role that I chose to give up because I had time constraints. But I realized those training programs that I've gone through have been very beneficial for something else. Simply by going through a good training program on independent directors, you may not become an independent director immediately, but you've learned a lot about corporate governance. So this is the third thing that we need seek to do. The fourth thing is there are lots of circumstances where women particularly quit midway, or they got married and they've not started at all. So if you quit 10 years back, how do you get back? Is there something we can do for that? Can we do some kind of a feeder program? It's okay. And the nice thing about ICAI is we're not too bothered about numbers because we don't seek to make a profit on anything. And the Honorable President is very, very clear about it. He's saying the institute exists for the benefit of members. So we're very happy to run workshops for 30 women, 50 women on 5-day workshop, basics of income tax, basics of GST, basics of audit, so that you can start off from where you quit. So you finished your articles, you apprenticed with a firm which did a lot of income tax. So now you'll know where to pick up the income tax and run. So that's the fourth thing that we want to focus on. And the fifth one is, of course, the most talked about aspect today, which is flexi staffing. How do you ensure flexi staffing? Today, I see that there is a huge demand, even within the practicing community. So for example, my office may need somebody for 3 days. How do I match this demand and supply of professionals? Again, we'd like to do very specific clinics where we ask firms to come and present. And if there are women participants there, today there's no reason why a chartered accountant sitting in Chennai should not help somebody in CIRC. So for example, the CIRC firm wants to do a due diligence. I have somebody in Chennai who's immediately got the time. You need a resource tomorrow. So could we do some kind of work on this flexi staffing? These are some of the broad themes that we've set for ourselves. And of course, the programs will continue. We'd like to do an international conference. We'd like to do regional conferences. I will revert back to CIRC through your Central Council members for this purpose. So these are broadly some of the initiatives of the committee that we seek to do this year. And with this, I hope all of you would participate and provide your very valuable suggestions on the journey of our committee, which is the Women Members Empowerment Committee, to move from empowerment, to move far beyond from empowerment to excellence. And so what is excellence? I'd like to conclude with this. Excellence is just a state of mind. It's just about saying, whatever I do, I will do well. So today, if I'm going to go for an event, I need to be appropriately dressed. It starts from there. You make a little rangoli outside your house. It starts from there. You're going to spend half an hour teaching cash flow to your 12th standard child. Do that half an hour very well. So that's all. And similarly, if you're going to an office and you're running a practice, you must be the best. And I don't mean in monetary terms. It's often said that you start with Saraswati and Lakshmi will follow. So the moment you become really good at what you're doing, your clients will follow you. And that's the pursuit of excellence that we want our women chartered accountants to stand for and to be exemplary human beings as well. So thank you once again for this really nice opportunity and for allowing me to share my thoughts. Would love to meet you all in person sometime, maybe a corporate law conference or something. So look forward. And thank you once again to the chairman. And special thanks to Manisha, who took a lot of effort. I was, sort of absolutely all over the place the last few days. So she's been very kind to send me the WhatsApp links immediately. So to enable me to participate in this. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was so wholesome, whatever you said. It is like the parts of leadership which you spoke. It was very practical enough so that we can take this in our daily life. The shift of from empowerment to excellence, which you people have just foreseen, that is too good. I mean, then shifting, we all are intelligent enough. Obviously, then we have become a chartered accountant, but then shifting from intelligence to brilliance, constant updation of everything, knowledge gaining, and that is required very much. Also, the time management for us females, that is really important because we need to do everything. I mean, if you want to become a leader, you can't just compromise. You have to do everything side by side. Thanks a lot. It was really very nice to listen from you.
Yeah, and the last slide, just enjoy whatever you're doing. That's all matters.
Yes, definitely.
Thanks.
Be passionate about everything what you do.
Happy everything. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
We have a Central Council member, CA Preeti Savla, ma'am. Ma'am, are you there? Yeah. So I would like to extend my heartiest welcome, Preeti Savla, ma'am. It is for the first time that we are interacting on screen. Both of you, I would like to interact off screen also. We'll meet you sometime so that can gain a lot from you all. So now moving on to the second topic, we have the challenges and opportunities which we have as a women. And I'm sure Madam has lived through all of it because she has been 9 years in the Regional Council of WIRC. So she has faced all the challenges, and obviously the challenges become the opportunities someday. So I would now give a brief introduction of Madam before starting with the session. Preeti Madam is a fellow member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. She is a Central Council member of the ICAI for the year 2022 to 25. She was a council member of Western India Regional Council for 9 years and has been chairperson in the year 2019-20. She holds a certificate in Entrepreneurs Development Program ISV, Diploma in Information System Audit ICAI, Insolvency Professional IBBI, certificate course in Forensic Accounting and Fraud Detection ICAI. She has an exposure of over 20 years in the areas of strategic planning, business advisory, internal audit and risk mitigation, fundraising and debt syndication, and as a virtual CFO. She is serving as an independent director on the boards of various companies like Aarti Industries Limited, Aarti Drugs Limited, ITI Mutual Funds Trustees Private Limited, as trustee since year 2008. She has been a director also in companies like Perch Strategic Advisors Private Limited, Perch Foundation, and also IRB Infrastructure Developers Limited. She has been a visiting faculty in colleges and guide to MBA students. She regularly delivers lectures on the various topics of professional interest. She has delivered lectures in around 300 seminars and mentored 250 women members. She is a committee member of various professional organizations. She has mentored various women professionals in restarting their professional career. She has been awarded various appreciations by organizations, including run by parliamentarians. So now I would request Preeti Savla ma'am to please deliberate on opportunities and challenges for women. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Manisha, for such a nice introduction and for inviting me over here at the Central Region. Very respected chairman of the region, Atul ji, Mr. Atul Mehrotra. I can see over here, see Rajiv Gupta ji, I see Lokesh Maheshwari ji, see Kishore Bardia ji, and my very dear friends, see Manisha Biyani. So, and all beautiful, wonderful, intelligent ladies and all senior male members also who have joined, and my dear friends, very, very happy International Women's Day. And I can also see Shri Priya Madam, who is a chairperson of WMEC as well as CLCGC committee of ICAI, and my colleague in the Central Council over here taking the session just prior to me very excellently. She has also told various initiatives of WMEC which will be taken over a period of this year. Friends, a very warm welcome to all of you, and let us directly switch over to the topic, that is opportunities in obstacles, I would say. So friends, this is a session, it's 3:45 and I have been given half an hour. So what I would like, 20 minutes I will speak and 10 minutes I will have, I understand a lot of thoughts or the questions in the mind of various women members are there. So I would like to make it very, very interactive. So at the end, we will deliberate for some 10 minutes. Is it okay, Manisha?
Yes, absolutely fine, ma'am.
Yes, yes. So first, पहले always हम जब से छोटे थे तभी हम एक कहावत होती थी या एक हमको एग्जाम्पल देते थे कि पानी का कांच का ग्लास होता है and it is a half filled with water. तो क्या है, तो some people are saying कि it is half filled, some are आधा ही भरा हुआ है, कोई बोलते आधा खाली है, right? तो आधा खाली है, कोई बोल रहा आधा भरा हुआ है. So this is what positive and negative side of it. And the now third concept is अरे पूरा भर देंगे, so if someone is saying कि तो आधा खाली है, तो अपने को क्या देखना है कि आधा भरा हुआ तो है, आधा तो भरा हुआ है. So that is called the positive side of it. What is there, we have to see and actually excel on that. Takes the see positive side, तो ही हम आगे बढ़ पाएंगे. क्या नहीं है वो नहीं देखना है, क्या है वो देखना है. That is the most important. So what are the obstacles specifically for women? Yes, anyone can say that. What are the obstacles? अपने को कौन से challenges आती है life में? What are the challenges? Let us make it interactive. You can put on the chat, and Manisha can say what is coming in the chat box. Family responsibility. Yes, Preeti is saying family responsibility. So is it obstacle? Yes, anyone else? So that is our mindset, what we are actually seeing. Yes, any other thing? Any time management is the challenge for women. That is Naveen Agarwal ji has said, time management, it's correct, that is there. Family work-life balance, very good. Yes, what are other challenges? Health, then family, balancing work and family, the child, the managing time with the child, their education, manage work and family together. Yes, everything, what I am getting the answer is everything around time and family, because women are more attached with the family and they feel, and professional updation is also challenge. That is challenge for everyone, I would say, female as well as male. Personal and professional life, very good. Yes, some people have a mindset that if we are well educated, that we won't take care of family responsibilities. Devika is saying that. Okay, so Shalini Gupta, membership number is a challenge for her because she has put only membership number in the chat box. Anyways, friends, so all the things what I have got the answer is everything is around the responsibilities and the time management, right? What we are getting answers. How to manage this? How to manage the time and make understand the family ki what you want to do and how you will be able to do. The financial responsibilities, family responsibilities, health is also a challenge sometimes. If you're not feeling well over a period of time, if you are feeling suffering with some issues, health issues, trust issues by clients on a practicing CA women, yes, that is also challenge. Standing up for yourself, yes. So these answers, because these female must have actually gone through these issues and that's why they are putting in the chat box. Some others may not have gone through, but yes, they feel कि नहीं ये टाइम दे पाएंगी कि नहीं, अभी हम इनके पास देते हैं, you know, but बाद में उनको टाइम मिलेगा कि नहीं, ऐसे भी होता है और सबका माइंडसेट अलग अलग होता है. So this is also an issue. So friends, here what and how to manage all these things. So these challenges we have to convert into opportunities. So everything depends. Introspect yourself. So first of all, friends, before giving your answers, let me tell all of you that today I am here at Delhi at ICAI, and morning only I have traveled and we had a very good interaction with Maldives Chartered Accountant Institute, the president, vice president of our ICAI and various council members as well as Maldives president, vice president were there, and we celebrated Women's Day in the morning with all of them, and it was very nice to have them here in Maldives. Again, we are also having the session at 5 o'clock, but before that, we had a session by CIRC. So I thought, let us grab this opportunity and try to share some stories and the case studies so that we can discuss and some benefit can happen to some of the women. That was the agenda. So that's why I am here in spite of, schedule. So time management. Why I'm telling you this is the time management. So here, since morning, we have the meetings lined up. I'm also vice chairperson of Sustainability Reporting Standards Board. Today we had a meeting at 2 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and we completed that. Now 5 o'clock is a program. In between, I asked when Manisha called me, I asked what are the timings. So if it would have been at 5 o'clock, rather I would have actually, in fact, I would have told to prepone her so that I can be there. So set your priorities. What are your priorities? If this session would have been at 5 o'clock, I would have said no. It is not possible because we have already scheduled the session at 5 o'clock at the ICAI. about the women program. So set your priorities. So it is not possible that you can manage everything, you can do everything together. But well, set your priorities. Your family is your priority, your child is your priority, your upgrading knowledge, clients meeting is the priority. What is your priority? You set your priority. Accordingly, you target. For example, if you feel I have to give 2 years to my child is very small. So in that case, you give more of your time for your child, but little time, at least some hours for the profession. So you are not just lacking behind the profession, and over a period, you are able to grab the professional opportunities. After 2 years, you feel कि अभी मुझे टाइम कम देना पड़ रहा है अपने चाइल्ड के पीछे. धीरे धीरे आप 2 से 3 घंटा, 4 घंटा, 6 घंटा प्रोफेशन में वापस आ जाएंगे. Now, what I have observed on the basis of research which I have done some 7 to 8 years back about the women professionals in our professional life, the results were that about 50% of the women are not doing anything, and that is because, what are the reasons? Because of their child, because of the family issues, some or the other parents or anyone in-laws, they are not there, they are very not well, and they have taken a break sabbatic, and they, after the 2, 3, 5 years sabbatic, the things have changed totally. If you see last 5 years, now GST has come, in insolvency, valuation, then lot of new things have come. Technology has taken over a lot of things. And now this woman have internal fear कि whether they will be able to come back in the profession and take over the things which they were doing earlier in the normal way. And that is what the bridge is. And that is their internal fear. But friends, let me tell all of you that if you have cleared the CA exam, that is world's 8th toughest exam, then even after a break, if you give little time for yourself, for your studies, you can do much better, and it can do wonders. But you have to set priorities, you have to set the goals. You write down your goals in black and white and see what you are doing on daily basis to achieve that goal. Say it is not possible to do anything overnight. It will take a lot of time. It may be a year, 2 years, over a period of 3 years also. But you have to analyze, envisage what you want to do after 5 years. That you start doing right now. If you want to be expert in GST, or if you want to have your own office, say we are in 2022, say you write down a goal for 2027 कि मुझे 2027 तक मेरा एक ऑफिस चाहिए, कि मुझे मेरे इतने क्लाइंट्स, आई वांट दिस नंबर ऑफ क्लाइंट्स और दिस नंबर ऑफ ग्रॉस प्रोफेशनल फीस, so that you write it down. I want this many staff in my office, or I want resources, I want these things, so that you should write it down, and you will see it will wonders will happen. Whatever you desire, you write it down. You will dedicate yourself, your determination will happen, and you will achieve over a period of time. बट अभी आप ऐसे, मेरे को बहुत फोन आते हैं कि मैडम अभी 3 साल से मैं कुछ नहीं कर रही हूँ. तो जस्ट नाउ डे बिफोर यस्टरडे आई रिसीव्ड अ कॉल फ्रॉम अ लेडी फ्रॉम मुंबई ओनली. आई हैड टेकन अ ब्रेक ऑफ 2 to 3 years एंड नाउ आई वांट टू जॉइन बैक. तो बोला अच्छा है, क्या करना है, आप कितना टाइम दे सकते हो, बिकॉज आई एम अवेयर कि एंटायर टाइम तो दे ही नहीं सकते हैं बिकॉज ऑफ द न्यूक्लियर फैमिली एंड स्मॉल किड. तो लकी नहीं, रात को मैं काम कर सकती हूँ और दोपहर को मेरा बच्चा सब सो जाए ना, तभी मैं कर सकती हूँ. सो I told upfront to her, don't take it otherwise, but you have to determine actually if you are going somewhere in nearby firm also. अगर आप ऐसे बोलोगे, एक तो आपका ब्रेक है, you have to say ना कि 4 hours या 6 hours. So then only it will be possible for some other person. You think from other person's side also, कि how that person will keep you, right? तो then you expertise आपको क्या आता है, whether you know tax, whether you know audits, you know whatever some areas you should know. नहीं वो तो पढ़ना आप पढ़ाई करो, सर्टिफिकेट कोर्सेज है, lot of things are there at the institute. Our institute also provides lot of opportunities. You do that and then you come back. You know your clients, I would say it's an ocean. If you are expert in any area, no, from all over world, you are demanded. The people will come at you, but you should be expert, super specialization in that area, in that field. Then only it will be possible. So time management. So how to do time management? You prioritize. बहुत बार ऐसा होता है. We do lot of physical programs for women. तो आई आज के आप लोग क्यों आते नहीं हैं? सॉरी. तो बोलते हैं कि नहीं हमारा sometimes we keep at 4 to 6. So then they say कि नहीं 4 o'clock को तो स्कूल छूटती है, तो my son or daughters come from the school, so at that time I cannot come because I want to be with them when they are coming from the school. अरे बट आपके बच्चे कोई नहीं चाहिए कि आप रहो घर पे. They are too old. They are managing themselves. You are feeling that, but आपके बच्चे आपको चाहिए, उनको चाहिए कि आप चाहिए. You manage everything. Sometimes I have observed कि हम घर पे रहते हैं, बच्चों के साथ है, लेकिन continuously we are on the phone. Correct? So तो सिर्फ physically we are present. ऑफिस से फोन चालू रहते हैं, या और फैमिली के फोन चालू रहते हैं, फ्रेंड्स के फोन चालू रहते हैं, या टीवी है या मोबाइल है हाथ में, व्हाट्सएप चालू है. सो फिजिकल प्रेजेंस इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड. द क्वालिटी टाइम इज मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट. इवन इफ यू गिव half an hour to your children, but you are with them, you can resolve them, you can feel them very special when you are with them. That is sufficient. It is not necessary that you are there at the time when they are coming from school at home, but at the evening, late evening also, if you give quality time and make their mind, you know, you should share with them what you are doing, how you are, what challenges you are facing, how you are getting it, and how you are overcoming. They are also very smart. They will also share what they are doing. So that quality time, be with them, is the most important thing in life. So that time management is important. Set the priorities. कि आपकी priority क्या है? You divide your time accordingly and deliver. So आप ऑफिस में भी justice दे पाओगे, घर पे भी justice दे पाओगे. It is very difficult to tell कि आप 4 घंटा ऑफिस में दो कि 8 घंटा ऑफिस में दो, because it is per person wise, per family wise, per ladies has a different thing in their life. So but you can always see that what is your priority. Again, relationships are also very very important. In relationship, I would share that clear communication is the most important thing, because sometimes we feel that कि हमको ऐसा करना है, but we are not able to convey to our spouse, we are not able to convey to our family what we require. We are not able to convey to in office to our boss also कि हमको ये करना है, हमको ये चाहिए. And if your desire is not fulfilled, then it becomes very difficult. So communication has to be very clear with all the people to whom you live with, whether it is a boss, it is a partner, it is your husband, or your children also. So if they know what you want, and if you know what they want, and if their demands are met, the half of the things are done. बहुत टाइम हमारा कम्युनिकेशन क्लियर नहीं होता है, हम करते ही नहीं है, हमको जो चाहिए ना, हमको भी पता नहीं होता है कि हमको क्या करना है. Sometimes we are confused. We are totally confused. We don't know हमको क्या करना है. So be very clear. कभी कभी है ना, आप शांति से बैठ के सोचो कि लाइफ में क्या करना है, कि मुझे आगे प्रोफेशन में बढ़ना है, जॉब में बढ़ना है, प्रैक्टिस में करना है, प्रैक्टिस में भी कौन सा एरिया करना है. बी क्लियर इन योर विजन कि लाइफ में क्या करना है, लाइफ में क्या करना है, एंड यू कन्वे द सेम to your family members, your in-laws if you're in joint family, and if you see the wonders will happen. And if you know what they want now, that also makes a lot of positive waves. अगर आपको पता है कि आपकी मदर इन लॉ को क्या चाहिए और उनको पता है कि आपको क्या चाहिए, you can understand what better way than this, the wonderful relationship. So if they are satisfied, you will be satisfied automatically. That is, always I believe in that funda. If you give something to other what they want, you will automatically get what you want. So apply that. So that is all about the relationship. Again, educational upgradation is most important thing. Upgrade your knowledge. We all are chartered accountants, but if there is a break, but not end, again, even if not break, lot of things are coming up. So if we have to upgrade with this new things, certificate courses, as well as this, you can say, new technology is playing very important role. Small thing, I'm giving one example. Mobile, WhatsApp. In mobile, majority of us are knowing how to use WhatsApp, and that also all features of WhatsApp we are not knowing. But there are various new features and advanced features in smartphones which we are not aware. I request Atul ji and Manisha ji and entire committee, regional council members, to give some session on how to use smartphone. And this smartphone can do wonders. A lot of technology is available. And if we use this, we don't know, अपने बच्चे ज़्यादा जानते हैं smartphones कैसे use करना है. They know in much better way. So upgrade the knowledge. So you will learn lot of things out of it. Again, your attitude, your approach, situation, as I said, glass आधा खाली है कि आधा भरा हुआ है, वो आपको देखना है. क्या आप क्या, what is your attitude, what is your approach to others. आप कोई situation को negatively ले रहे हैं कि positively ले रहे हैं. Don't compare with others. अरे उसका तो ऐसा है, उसके पास तो टाइम है, मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है, मेरा हस्बैंड तो कुछ काम नहीं करता है, उसका हस्बैंड तो उसको सारा काम करके देता है. Like that. Don't do all this. In the situation what you are, how you can utilize that situation in a better way, that you have to think. No two people are same. I am telling, no two families, no two persons are same. Don't make any comparison. Just be yourself. आप जो सिचुएशन है, एंड इफ यू फील कि वो ज्यादा कुछ है, तो देन यू ऑल्सो सी कि व्हाट अदर्स आर नॉट हैविंग एंड वी आर हैविंग. सो व्हाट बेटर वी कैन डू in that situation, because others are not having that much and they are doing so much thing, and if we are having this much, and if you do put little extra, so we can do wonders. So compare in that way. Communication has to be very clear. Transparency, not only in accountancy but in our relationship also. Clarity of thoughts, clear communication. Way you think and handle the situation, it has to be very positive, because it happens there on some matter, if in the family also there are different views, It is not necessary the what you think the same way the other person, your family members are also thinking. So we have to understand their views also and see what is the best for entire family and take them. Similarly, in office, it is not necessary कि what you are thinking your other partners and your staff team is also thinking. To understand their perspective and take it further. Again, the support system plays very important role. Support system in the sense at home as well as in office. It is always said that there is a 80-20 ratio. 80% of the work what we are doing is like that we can get it done from our subordinates and the juniors. So if you have some support system to get the some more time for yourself in which you can think newer thing and do something which you are not able to do now. So have the support system with you. And it is always said, when we were small, we had gone to one shibir, and they had given us 2 imported chocolates, and we were 100 children over there, and we were so small, like 7-8 years old, and 2 imported chocolates. So and they told ki all of you go somewhere, hide, matlab आप किधर भी छुप जाइए और ये chocolates खा लीजिए. So someone has gone below the bed, someone has got behind the tree, and somewhere or the other to eat the chocolates. However, out of this 100 children, 10 children, after they had given some 15 minutes time to eat these chocolates. So out of this 100 children, 10, then after 15 minutes, everyone assembled, and then these organizers asked, where all of you have gone and ate the chocolates? So then out of this, everyone, someone said, hum log yahan pe chupe, hum yahan pe chupe. But out of this, the 10 students did not eat this chocolate. So then this person said, why you have not taken or ate your chocolate? So these 10 children said, God is everywhere. Even we hide somewhere or the other, God is there to see us. So God is everywhere and is seeing everyone. So it's like that. Again, there is a camel, and then camel's cub is there, or what we say, baby camel is there, and mother camel. So baby camel is saying, mother camel, other animals are so beautiful and we have such a bad hump. So why it is like that, So then mother camel said, baby, since we are that कौन से रण में होते हैं ना, so we are required to store water, so we are having this type of hump. So okay, then again baby asks to mother camel, mother, why we are having other animals have so beautiful legs, so why we are having such bad legs? So again mother camel says, because we have to travel and walk in sand, so that's why God has given us such type of legs, we are having these legs. Again baby camel says, mother, other animals have so beautiful eyes, so why we are having such a large lashes on the eyes and such eyes? Again mother says, baby, since we are running on the sand and this staying over here, we have this type of eyes. And then one last question the baby asked, which is very thoughtful, is then what we are doing in the zoo? So we have all the abilities and the expertise in some area, So then what we are doing in the zoo where we should not be, we should be there where our expertise lies. So friends, if you want to be expert and your passion is in practice or job or in your any business, please do that, because if you follow your passion, do the work of your expert area, you can do wonders in life. Keep open the session for question answer for next 2 3 5 minutes, whatever time you have, and whatever support required at the institute level in various committees which I have would always be there to support the fraternity for the benefit of members and students. I wish you the best of the term to all the office bearers, and I wish you all the members best part to reach to their pinnacle in their profession. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for enlightening us how to prioritize things, because time management is an essence for any woman. She has to manage a lot, and if she can do it well, then nothing like it. So we have to have our priorities in life, and the priorities also change according to different phases of life also. So that way we can manage things. If there is any question the audience needs to ask, they can write in the chat box and we can take it up.
Hello.
Yes. Then people can raise their hand if they want to ask, and then we just let them ask the question. Welcome to ma'am. So now we have with us the third speaker of today's webinar, CA Soumya Ram Iyer. As her name depicts, she is Soumya, means beautiful inside out. Thank you so much. So now she would deliberate on the topic equality today for a sustainable tomorrow. So before that, I'll give a brief introduction of hers. CA Soumya Ram Iyer is a soft skills and language coach with about a decade of rich experience working with corporate and young minds in the training domain. She has been bequeathed with the Honorable Iconic Women of the Year 2021 at an all India level by Indian Women Foundation. She regularly addresses August forums such as regular seminars at CII for top corporate leaders, chartered accountants forums, company secretarial forums, Young Indians, a brand of CII, Radio City Chennai, PSG Group, UN represented talk shows, Rotary clubs across the globe, CA Sansar channel, and the like. She is a TESOL practitioner and certified trainer, Cambridge Press, and is also a certified TOEFL and IELTS coach. She's a qualified chartered accountant who has served the industry as a proud professional for more than 12 years in India and abroad. Welcome you, ma'am, for the deliberation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Manisha. How many ever achievements that you make when somebody tells your ego is like here? Suddenly, like,
Yes,
I'm
yes.
somebody heavenly like that.
Definitely. Your voice is coming a little low. So if you can increase the volume, that'll be better.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to switch off the fan first so that's going to give us a little more. Is it more clearer now?
No, still it's coming a very low.
Try increasing the audio. Give me 1 second. Sometimes happen when I do seminars that the audio goes for a toss. I'm very happy to see so many people here today for the Women's Day seminar. And
Not able to get it.
is it okay now? Same?
Same.
Okay, I'll wear a headphone. Give me a moment.
I would like to welcome chief guest of today's seminar, Ms. Lakshmi Singh ji. Ma'am, are you there?
Ma'am, she will be joined shortly.
Okay, thank you.
The headphone. Sorry guys, sometimes the laptop gives me a little trouble. Then I wear a headphone. Am I better audible now? Manisha, is it better now?
No, still
Still not
it's
better.
coming low. I am not able to get it right. So
Also don't know, yeah. I'm not on mute. I can see that. I can see. Okay, let me log in from the mobile. Is it easier that way? Let's check that out. I'm logging in from the mobile. Give me a minute.
I think there is some problem with Jack.
Lectures in the morning and we didn't face this, so I'm just worried why it's happening suddenly now. I'm just checking the settings. Give me a minute for them. Sometimes it does. Give me about a minute. You guys can deliberate on some topic until then. Give me a minute. Right, just 1 minute. Give me 2 minutes, guys. I'm logging in from the phone. Give me 2 minutes. Just
okay.
give me 2 minutes. Yeah. You logged in? No password. Hi. Can you guys hear me now? Is it okay?
Is it okay? Okay, so let's do it from the mobile. Now it's much better. So we're destined to do it from the mobile, not from the laptop, possibly. Right,
Now-
guys?
I'm clear, yeah.
I know. So now it's all clear, right? The voice is all clear. Right, guys. So quickly, my topic says, gender equality today for a sustainable tomorrow. So now we are faced with a number of challenges when it comes to employing women, is what the world tells us. So we should first start with perusing these terms, as in what gender equality actually means and what a sustainable tomorrow actually means. So there are two terms, those are alien to us at this moment, right? So first of all, I think we have misconstrued the concept of sustainability as well as the concept of gender equality in a very, very commercial sense. We see advertisements every day which say that wearing a new brand of jeans or going for a particular makeup style is gender equality. And probably when you do the same tasks that men do, like for example, if men do a particular physical task and you also can represent the same physical task, then you're called equal to men. If men go on the road and hit 4 other men and pick up a fight, if you are also able to do it, then it's gender equality. This first notion is absolutely wrong. I want to speak from an equal standpoint today, and not from a standpoint of being a woman, Women's Day celebration, a celebration of womanhood, and I will speak everything about women are great and women are good. Let's speak from an equivocal standpoint. Where did this concept of equality start? And how did we have a Women's Day celebration? This started with the movement of women being allowed to vote in the United States in 1964. So until then, women never have had voting rights in the US. And India, we had from 1947. And we are talking about we not being as progressive as the Western countries. That's the first shocker, right? And we have been a country, we've had regular queens as good as kings who has helped the civilization progress in giant leaps. Rani Lakshmibai, latest Indira Gandhi, and so many women politicians, Smriti Irani ma'am at this particular point, right? So the first point that I would like to make in today's discussion is that equality is not doing the same tasks. Equality is not getting paid similarly. Equality is not sitting in the same position. Equality is when somebody is allowed to be at the maximum of their potential, doing what they like. So if we like to do a particular thing, being human beings or even being life, species, we should be allowed to do what we want to do. I should even remove the word allowed. There's no permission, there is no allowing when it comes to rights. So we should be doing what we like doing and achieve the greatest potential, and we should be offered help to achieve the greatest potential. Now the question comes, if you women think you're already empowered, why do you need help? You guys already know everything. We need help because our system changed when we had other countries come and rule us, be it the Persians, the Iranians, the Muslim rulers, or the Britishers. They brought in their thinking and thought process into our culture in the 1700s, 1600s, and so on and so forth. So the thought process has changed a little, and the role allocation, which earlier was a particular person will do a particular role. Why was women given the role of taking care of the home? Is specifically because biologically only she can give birth. I'm giving up the latest scientific experiments of men giving birth aside, that's a rarity. And she is able to conduct places where love and affection is needed in a great manner. That is why nurses are women mostly, teachers are women, examiners are women. Psychiatrists community has 72% women, doctors. Of course, gynecologists are women. And gynecology is not only for the ladies, if that is your narrow-minded perception, it's for all people. So the point I'm trying to make is the equality first is not doing the same thing in the same way. Let's not put it into that narrow box. Equality is equal rights. I don't like the word rights. I like it to be equal opportunities to do whatever they want to do in the optimal manner, right? So that's clear now. Second word that we have, sustainable tomorrow. Now, what is sustainable tomorrow is the economy should be booming. The corporate should be running. The fraternity should be going on. That's a narrow-minded view again. Sustainable tomorrow is everybody is permanently at a vibration of peace, happiness. That's sustainability. When does environmental sustainability kick in? When does corporate sustainability kick in? It's not your succession plan. Let's not narrow it down to women being included in wills, women being included in succession plans and board of directors. We need one woman. Somebody has to come and tell us compulsorily make one woman sit in the board. That is our state of mind. Otherwise, we don't. We don't think they can handle that at all for very many reasons. So that's not sustainability. Sustainability is everybody vibrating in their optimal happiness and peace of mind at some point in time is called sustainability. So now we understood the topic. Equality means everybody having the opportunity to do whatever they want. Not only women, everybody. Men are also contributing a lot to the society. The way the outlook men were having in the 70s, those were born in the 40s and 50s, was that women was confined to bedroom and kitchen. And she was not a decision maker, is fast vanishing, including my marital system. In every marital system today, we are seeing men who are not only, there's no word of permission. They're supporting their spouses achieving great heights. Standing example, me, Manisha, who are all doing this because we have spouses who tell, bravo, go girl, you go get it, right? So men are also equally contributing. Now, having said that, we need women who do what they like at the optimal level for permanent happiness to everybody. Now, why only women can bring permanent happiness in sustainability? Why not everyone? Women plays a greater role because genetically we are nurturers. So once you don't have a nurturer in the office, you don't have a nurturer at home, the entire environment goes for a tension-based working. Now, what is the proof for this? You've been throwing away statements in the air. Yesterday, I read in Times of India, there is a McKinsey study. You can go check out yesterday's paper on similar topic, which says about 80% and above of the companies, wherein a team has 30% women at least, at whatever level, are functioning more smoothly and the team happiness index is higher. Now, we are all used to listening to, Arre, gar jana hai, oh my God, kich kich pit pit, but actually we bring in that nurture, knowingly, unknowingly, in the office environment also. So one more reason that we need equality is a balance from science. If somebody says that astronomy or your astrology is all a crackpot, please tell me how we could predict eclipses 2000 years back. We have a panchang that comes every year which says eclipse on so-and-so date, which NASA will confirm 72 hours ahead only, but Indians would have given it at the beginning of the year. April month, they'll give by December what is the eclipse. So our rich tradition says Shiva Shakti for a reason. It was never meant to, keep you spiritual. Spirituality is science. So even by approaching from that angle, every team in the past, Ravana had his wife Mandodari fight with him. Side by side, they're all warriors. So there was never an occasion until the Western rulers and the Persian rulers came in that we had this, even this discussion of equality was considered fun because we had equality. There are goddesses, there are gods, always. But then because of this cultural diaspora being mixed up, today we are sitting and discussing how to do this. Now, we have discussed why, we have discussed what, let's come to how. We all think by giving a few prime positions to women, like 29% reservation in this constituency, 30% reservation in that college, 40% reservation in this company, we are going to achieve sustainable future. It'll be a shocker if I tell you this is the cream 5% of the society we are talking about. These lecturers, these politicians, we are learned people. Not even 10% women are educated in India up to graduation. So this sustainable tomorrow being a dream by doing it in corporate is going to be a dream of the 10%. You want to include that 90%? Then comes simple activities like, do you give a day leave to your household help during her menstrual cycles? Do you give similar permission to your office staff? In the contract, is it mentioned anywhere that women can take a day leave in a month minimum during their menstrual cycles? Right? Are we doing this? Are we keeping, how many offices will have, let's start with simple things. How many offices have counselors when women are troubled more because they take more responsibility automatically? It's in our DNA to take care of everyone. That's what we've been taught in India. The day I'm born, I'm told sacrifice. Then only you'll get a good name. Sacrifice in the family. So when we are stressed, do we have a peer system in your office? Wherein HR will have a counselor allocated for not only women, but generally women to go and talk in a confidential manner to resolve their issues. I have done that as a boss to so many of my employees working in India, abroad, everywhere. That's the first thing I do. When I notice they're off at the work, the first thing I ask is, what are you going through? Right? Are we our support system? Are women supporting women at workplace to come up? Are we synergizing by holding hands? Are we educating our, I take one session free every day for anybody who wants to enroll from economically underprivileged community, especially women. If I think they don't have enough money to pay for my services, I am all in to go for zero cost because God has given me, I always have felt this, 5 rupees in pocket or 5 lakh rupees. I have always felt God has given me more than enough. So knowledge sharing is the basic thing. Atul sir, you wanted to say something? You opened your mic.
Oh, no.
All right. Okay. I thought you had. Fair enough. Okay. So that is the first thing you have to start with. Look around you. Maybe your driver's daughter or the person who cleans your garden, his daughter or sister wants to do something new, and they don't either have the knowledge, capacity, economically underprivileged, or the confidence, build it up. You have to build up your ecosystem from scratch. Only then sustainability will happen. Sustainability is not this few people staying in apartments and bungalows throwing plastic waste. It is from a hawker on the street knowing how to handle plastic waste. How did Singapore become the cleanest city that it is? It was a ganja den 60, 70 years back. They instilled discipline into the minds of the people methodically. I know it's a small country, easy to manage. I've lived there for 3 years, so I understand what are the advantages of that country. But if you see, nobody crosses the line, nobody crosses the line. You don't have to monitor them. So we should come into a system where we don't do things for coming in the newspapers or being recognized. We are recognized from our soul, and we do it for the real people who deserve it. So the first step is starting to put together a real CSR activity in your company or your house or your society, and then helping these people. Those are underprivileged but talented women, especially because in those echelons of the community, women are not encouraged. We've seen that a lot of times that privileged women always come up. Like us, we are educated, we are privileged to be in supportive families, but women who are in unsupportive families. So how many people are stitching cloths on the road? Women are doing that. How many of them can be offered some help? I have conducted basic English speaking classes for Adivasi women communities. I do 15 days of NGO in a year, wherein I totally get cut off from the world, go stay in a Adivasi community and 15 days share the knowledge that I have and learn from them. I learned cow milking and all that from them. So please do activities. Those are meaningful for the really underprivileged communities who can't afford any of your services, right? Who can't even afford 10 minutes of your time. Right? And please let us build up this sustainability step by step by having inclusive teams in the office, by having inclusive societies around us, and by being as compassionate as possible and not treating equality as mere doing equal tasks, but operating at our highest potential and inspiring other people to do so. I'm very happy to interact with you now. Any questions that you have to ask, I can take. I can see our chief guest is logged in, so I don't want to take much of your time. I'll take questions, and I'm also waiting eagerly to listen to our chief guest, ma'am, speak.
Thank you. I think you should give some time for question answer also, and then maybe we'll continue with this.
Yeah, I'm open to any interaction. People, you want to ask anything? I'm always open and enthused to talk to people. So yes, guys. Guys, other than this being a mandatory CPE 2 hours, do ask questions. We can interact. We can discuss whatever you have in your mind. Over to you, Manisha. Anything you want to say? Or how do you want to? Yeah, Manisha. Guys, anything you want to ask, say, or you want to put it in the chat box? We are open to your opinions, your thoughts on the chat box. I think Manisha is logged off, right? Prachi, you want to take over? You want to? I don't see Manisha here, so probably she is disconnected.
Ma'am, Chairman,
Yeah, good.
No issues.
Okay, Viniti is asking the most important question, which says, any tips to work guilt-free as a mother? These are times I have a daughter who is 15-year-old now. So when she was 2 years old, I had to keep her with a caregiver because I didn't have either of the elders living with us. We were abroad and had to go to work. And there are days I've worked and I've probably broken down and cried in the lunchtime. Everybody goes through this, Vinita. It's an essential part of motherhood, and it's the essential part of being a professional. And Vinita, this brings me to a particular sentence. There is no good mother, there is no bad mother. There is no good mother who is with the child all the time. There is no bad mother who wanted to make a career. We all are individuals which are with our own wills and wishes. So I think anybody who goes through this cycle and comes out with scratches is a strong woman. Any woman is a strong woman. So motherhood is a challenging process, as beautiful as it is. It is also a challenging process. And I'm super glad that you're undergoing it like a brave girl. Yeah, Vinita, you put your hand up. Anything else? Somebody else opened mic. Somebody else wanted to say something. Please go for it on your chat. Yep. Anything else? Right. I think I should give the stage to Madam Lakshmi Singh. You want to introduce her, Lokesh? You want to take it over?
Just a minute, just a minute. Now I welcome our today's chief guest, Ms. Lakshmi Singh from Lucknow. Madam, I welcome you on behalf of CIRC. I request you, please say some words for wisdom to our members. Ma'am, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. All of you, I was pleasantly surprised to have been invited to speak at this forum, number one. Number two, all of you have excelled in your own field. And my words of wisdom, I think I might have carried some word of wisdom from your seminar back to my home. Today is a great day. Today is the International Women's Day, and I'm very happy to see Lokesh ji conducting this seminar, this webinar on Women's International Day. We have had a long history of women feminism all across the globe. However, there are two things which I'd like to point out at the beginning of this session. Number one, India, since the inception of it being a nation, right from 1947, has been very egalitarian in its outlook, right from the constitution building till the policy making and policy implementation. That women in India never had to revolt, rebel, come out on the streets, participate in movements to demand equality from a government chosen by the people. Western countries, they attained independence, they achieved democracy, they became a republic right from 1776 till the 1800s and 1900s. However, women got equal rights of property, equal suffrage, voting rights, to be heralded as an individual in a legal capacity quite late. In fact, I quite very distinctly remember till 1965, women in Britain, Great Britain, were not supposed to be equal on all fronts. India has learned from its global contemporaries. We have had an institution, we have had a constitution which speaks of us as equal individual. But I was just listening to Ms. Iyer and speaking on sustainable feminist development in the society and what all is required for growth. I have only one observation to make. Sustainable development of any equity, sustainable development of any polity, of any society is so late it is. Today we are speaking of growth, progressive growth. Now there are two terms. One is progressive and the other is growth. We as an ecosystem, we always strive to have a development scenario where we can grow. Kya tha, whatever was there in the past, that has to be there, that balance has to be there, that is sustainability. Now the graph has to go upward. We have come at a stature. Both as a society, we have matured, as a polity, we have matured, we have come at a stature where we can demand, where we can raise our voice and say, This has been what the sustainability has been. Now we have to look upward, the graph has to rise. Very many people, very many colleagues of mine, they say that, okay, we are for feminism, both male and female, we are for feminism. I tell them feminist is also not the golden sentence of this era. We are equalitarians. We are equals. We don't need any push or pull, take us out from where we are. We are, as a society, we are equals, and we are demanding, we are striving for equal balance. Male counterparts also, they need equality, because now I feel that a feminist brigade has come up and come up in a very nice way. When I came into this service, there were many few officers, lady officers in the service, and not many of them were willing to work in the field areas. I'm proud to say that because of certain support from all around me, I have put in 22 years of regular field service in a very tough world and tough policing in the state of UP. However, we have also learned, we have also had cry days, we have also had happy days, we have also had proud days. Two things which I have spoken is progressive and growth. Progressive can only come when we are able to share our problems, we are able to share our aspirations, we are able to share our ideals with everyone in the society on an equal footing. If my colleague sitting on the next table is able to think alike, like me, towards the organizational goals, towards the personal goals, towards team building and leadership on an equal footing, treating me as an individual and not as a female or a male counterpart, then that is progression. And any organization which has to evolve, for any culture, for any ecosystem to evolve, this is the basic premise on which everyone has to work for. If within the organizations and outside, if we are not able to think of all colleagues, whether male or female, on an equal footing, then as an organization, we are lacking behind. Many times I have seen some colleagues speaking about their female counterpart as if she's in deep trouble, she's having certain family problems, and we should now give her some time, and we should give her some space so she can manage her domestic problems. In the initial phases of my career, I also faced one such situation in which one of my seniors, they asked me how women generally are complaining about these problems, especially into their young years of career, wherein they have to balance between being a young mother and a young achiever, both personally and professionally. My answer to all those critics and all such colleagues are, go and have some introspection. After all, I do not have the luxury and privilege of having a wife as my assistant to run over my household. Therein lies our summation of assessment of what we are looking forward into our female colleagues. Are we able to leave pity out, leave some glossy pink-eyed glasses outside our office rooms and look at them as we would look upon a colleague who is a male counterpart? This is especially so true for any male boss. For female colleagues, for female subordinates, I only have to say one thing. If you strive yourself to be seen on an equal footing, you have to plan and proceed on an equal footing. You cannot demand certain resumptions, certain privileges, certain shortcomings to be overlooked if you have to be addressed yourself as an equal. Secondly, for the male superiors, I only have one thing, that you should always look upon problems of your female subordinates and male subordinates on an equal footing. You cannot have that divisive outlook in which is what I cannot forbear. You cannot have that divisive mindset which speaks about your male counterparts, male subordinates problems in one scenario and female subordinates problems into another scenario. Same is True also for inter-organizational interactions. Many often we come across wherein we just drive any ideas put up by a female colleague. We just brush them aside, or we just say, okay, some senior person, management, middle management rank can look into those ideas and see whether they are worthwhile to be given consideration and time. Mental aptitude, mental sharpness has not been reserved for either sexes by God. Your mental capacity, your thing will depend upon how much labor you have put in, how much diligence you have put in, how much time you have allowed yourself to think and ponder over the given assigned topic. Therefore, I think for any organization to grow in this today's millennium scenario is that you will have to accept your female subordinates and male subordinates on an equal footing, and you will have to give an equal opportunity for them to put forth their ideas. Brainstorming can be, this is my personal experience also within this system and without also, that brainstorming can be very aggressive and very productive when you have an equal share of male and female colleagues sitting in that group. Many times people say that, okay, this is a scientifically proven fact that one side of the brain is functioning for male things. Please don't take it otherwise. And that is very sharp side. That is the intelligent side, which is thinking and putting up ideas. But females have an inherent capability to map with both sides of the brain at the same time. That is why we are so good at multitasking. And why not take that opportunity and let it grow within the system. Middle management level people, especially in any growing environment, any growing organization, we have to look into this aspect also, because this is where females have this feeling that they are being overlooked, they are being overshadowed, they are being jumped over, and position which they could have demanded, which they could have commanded very well, that has been handed over to some male counterpart. We as a CA, like you people have this organization, we should be using this opportunity to discuss and develop middle management tier also, wherein female orientation, female participation is seen to grow. I am talking of seen to grow, perceived to grow. Many organizations per se, as per policy matter, to just give this outlook that they are very progressive kind of organization, that they are very forward-looking, modern-looking kind of organization. They have some female participation at middle management and higher management levels, just to show that yes, we have some female representation. Late 90s, early 2000s, that could have been an acceptable reality, that yes, that there are not many working professionals, and therefore we have some token representation of female partnership. However, as of today, many young, modern, forward-looking graduates, professionals are coming up, female professionals are coming up, and therefore, as an organization, we should strive that they are given their due recognition in any organization, in any scenario. And let me tell you from first-hand experience that given the opportunity, female managerial cadre is excellent at leadership roles. They are excellent at role model roles. They can be shown as a role model for young generation, young professionals, young trainee recruits to emulate. And believe me, many of them have put in long years of sacrifice while forwarding their career. Sacrifice, why? Because as a female, we have to sacrifice a lot and create a balance between our working and personal and professional life. However, second thing which I would like to point out is gender sensitization. This is one area in which there are many anomalies which have crept into the system. Whenever a term, especially for a government and a quasi-government body, to talk about gender sensitization, that role is always reserved for female participation. We are already sensitized. And if there is a lacuna in our sensitization, then our first-hand experience will always sensitize us as to what is gender sensitization. That capsule, that training, that sensitization program has to have a male orientation, a male participation. उनको sensitize करना है, हमारे लिए नहीं sensitization होना चाहिए. However, this is one very strong, and this is what I always spoken about at many government forums, that if you know, please, wherever you say gender sensitization, you always think of some lady officer to put in and say that हाँ हमारा representation हो गया. No, please. Today, where we are standing, some token sensitization cannot help us. Why? Because there are many windows that have opened up. Any organization can see itself to be a closed door, but there are many windows in any closed organization. Nothing can be swept under the carpet. Nothing can be said that, yes, this kind of thing doesn't happen. Therefore, gender sensitization is a must, and it should have an active female and male participation, so that you get to know what is expected of a leader, what is expected of a manager, what is expected of an advisor in any organization. Then only you can be comprehensive in their role evaluation, in their work or performance audit evaluation. Then only you can be comprehensive into their emotional stability evaluation. Number 2, gender budgeting. This is a very novel concept, and it has come up recently through way of a Government of India initiative. Many departments are going for gender budgeting as of now. My advice will be to you as an organization is that in your corporate culture also, gender budgeting is something which is very much in vogue, and we should make some contribution through our advisory, through our consultations, through our role evaluations, that gender budgeting must become a part of every organization. My thing is that it is a prerequisite for any culture, for any work culture to evolve. When we start thinking of gender budgeting, and there are very small, minuscule capsules which can be easily adopted. Not much is required, not much is required at all. However, once we start thinking of gender budgeting, then slow transformation of any work culture starts happening. Then slowly and surely, some changes can be seen into the work culture, into work performances, behavioral patterns, thinking patterns. You start thinking aloud, you start brainstorming aloud, and then you will see that over the period of next 2-3 years, the face of your any organization, the face of your organization, the face of what facade you want to put up before the society, what face you want to put up, that undergoes a transformation. This is the power of silent gender budgeting. It doesn't require much hoopla, it doesn't require much funding, it just requires some thought. Funds are always available, funds can never be a problem. However, how to evolve them, how to use them to further our goals. That is the basic prerequisite, and that requires planning stage. It requires certain serious considerations, some serious thought processes, and later on it becomes amalgamated into the system, and then of course the system takes its own course. Therefore, I would like to stress upon the importance of gender budgeting. Many times we think that it is a sarkari rhetoric, and of course government plans will have some iota of gender budgeting, but you know, this is a first-hand experience from field experiences, that field projects, that as soon as we incorporate gender budgeting silently into any government scheme, latent transformation of that society, howsoever small that is, howsoever minuscule that is, it starts happening. And over a period of time, within 3 to 4 years, we can see that that has led to leadership goals among female orientation, female population also. We were just thinking of, someone was asking about guilt-free working of mothers. Let me tell you one thing. As I have spoken, we are quite adept at multitasking. And God has been so kind to give us left side of brain and right side of brain, and both can work at the same moment of time. Never feel any guilt about how you raise your child. Remember one thing: strong mothers, they generate strong children. any housewife, even if she's sitting at her home and devoting 24 hours to child rearing, she will be busy in some or the other work. We may not salarize her work. We may not say that your work is amounting to so much of revenue generation, but we know that is a serious work. And they also cannot devote 24 hours of 100% dedication to the child, you know. However, we being guilt-ridden, we will devote extra care. Even if we get 2 hours a day with the child, we will devote extra care, extra devotion, extra pampering to the child. Let me tell you, there's no need to feel guilt. We all have undergone that process. And remember one thing, guilt-free working of mothers can never be. Even for a housewife, which I have seen from my own mothers and sister-in-laws, you know, even if they are 100% dedicated to their child rearing, there will always be some iota of guilt. Had I done this, then my child would not have fallen sick. Had I done this, my child would have got better numbers. Had I done this, maybe some career counseling should have happened. Remember, working mothers are very strong mothers. Working mothers raise strong children. And working mothers tend to fashion their children in such a way that they mature up quite quickly. They have that inherent decision-making power. They have that inherent weighing all the options and taking a conscious decision. This is what is going to help our children in the future, where they will be cast into some leadership roles, where they will be cast into decision-making roles. And this confidence, this character building will come in handy. My only thing is that, as they say, we have had, you people are lucky that in your organization, many young female professionals are coming up. In my scenario, we are still a handful of officers. However, we have to see as an individual what contributions we can make towards our own organization. That is of paramount importance. I may have excelled as an officer and have done great service towards the society, but within my organization, have I contributed? Women, when they rise to power of position, whenever they are into that decision-making leadership role, whenever they come to that stature, that evolvement should come, that maturity should come, that whatever struggles we have faced to rise up to this challenge, to this position, how are we going to make roads smoother for our young colleagues to come up to the same position? That is where our contribution should be of paramount importance. If we are not in any mindset to make a smooth road of progress for them, then we as an individual have failed within the organization. We may have been a very good colleague, we may have been a very good leader, we may have been a very good officer, but for the organization, for our younger female counterparts, we are nothing. That is where I will like to put in a point. Male colleagues, they have a way of interacting. They have a way of grooming. Many senior leaders will be in a position to groom their young managers and make them forward, propel them forward. That propulsion will be there. But we as lady managers, we as female leaders, we as female officers, we are a bit hesitant because, you know, that kind of interaction may not be happening with us. We have to get out of that cliche. No, there is that cliche in that mindset that a female is boss, especially for a female boss, and that too in a police scenario, we are considered to be deadly. Female boss hai, she will be eccentric, she won't listen. You know, but my point of view is that you can be compassionate. Only the thing is that compassion should not be treated as if you are weak. Any male boss can be very strict, very disciplined, and strict taskmaster. But if he shows some kindness to some colleague, it will never be equal to he's kamzor, that's why he's taking this decision. That drawback is only with female bosses. So we as bosses, we as senior level functionaries. We should always keep that mindset, keep that thing in our mind, that if we are not able to develop our organization in a way that for female professionals to grow within that organization becomes a bit easy, then we as a generation are not fulfilling what has been promised to us and what has been handed over to us. Maybe my boss would have faced much more severe conditions working in this organization, working in police. For me, certain things were easier. If I have not been able to make things easier for my young IPS officers or for my young constabulary, for my young sub-inspectors, then as a lady boss, as a woman working, professional working, I have not performed my duty. Therefore, this will be my last submission, that wherever we are, we should strive that we are able to reach out to whosoever is in demand of our time, whosoever is in demand of our advice, and whosoever wants to grow within the organization, reach out to them. Sometimes they may be hesitant, in how to approach a senior officer. For male counterparts, it's very easy. You can be approached and you can very well go down the line also. For females, there is a bit of, there are certain boundaries which we set up. We have to grow outside those boundaries. We have to branch ourselves out. We have to see whether there is someone who is in need of our helping hand, and we have to reach out to that person. Even if we are able to groom 2 young female professionals and make their rise smoother, easier, then I think our organizational goals are very good. Lokesh ji, for you people, I only have to say one thing: you are our friends, our colleagues, and that interaction on an equal footing should have happened, and I hope it is happening. Whenever you accept your female counterparts, your female colleagues on an equal footing, just as a colleague, not female, not male, that will be the day when any organization can say that, yes, we are a forward-looking, modern-looking, progressing organization. That will be my last submission. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was so fulfilling to know everything from you. And the day I came to know that you are chief guest, sorry for my bad network, because I was supposed to welcome you, but I was not able to do that. So it was like a power in your name. I mean, we can relate you to Lakshmi Bai, the way you put down all the criminals.
That's the first thing even I thought, Manisha.
Yeah.
I saw the name and I was like, this I'm going to sit and listen to.
Yes. And the way you put it, like we are not at all feminist. It is like you should not be gender biased in any of the workplace, and everybody is equal at equal platform. We have been made like males and females, but when it comes to working platform, we are all same. So that was very beautifully conveyed by you.
I will just like to add one small anecdote. During the initial years of my service, when I was a young SP of a district, and many people used to come to us and they would used to sit outside and send their daughter-in-law or their wives inside. You go and petition before her and she will listen to you. We are a bit assistant and go on, And I would be sitting in my uniform, not that in any casuals or civil clothing. Then I made it a point. This is a trap, this is a trap in which we fall very easily. And I have advised it to my young officers also. Then I made it a point that since a woman coming from a village cannot explain her legal problem, whatever is she facing. Therefore, if you are hesitant or shy to come before a young lady officer, so it's better you go somewhere else. If they can solve your problem, very well. Otherwise, you come to the superintendent of police and speak to an SP of a district.
Yes.
That is how our society is. We have to break out of those cliches. ये लोकेश जी के संग problem नहीं आएगी. Male counterparts, they don't face this problem. They are taken as a leader. They are taken as an SP of a district. But us, very small thing, but that is how you break out. That is how you break through their barriers. You don't have any mental barrier, but the society, how they perceive you, they have 1001 mental barriers about any female boss, any female leader or officer.
Right. Before anybody else asks a question, I have a question. I have
Yes,
two
yes.
questions. The first one is, what was the moment that made you decide you should do public service? There should be a turning point in everybody's life. Why I did CA as a story. So why
Yes,
you?
and she was a mechanical engineer and then going off to IPS. I mean,
Oh, that was part of your introduction. I didn't know that. Oh,
yes,
sorry.
yes,
That's
yes.
one thing I wanted to ask.
Engineer, yeah.
Since the second thing I want to ask is, what is one thing that you want to change immediately that extremely irritates you? You get the power that one change you want to make today, Constitution, we are going to sit down and change one thing. Like today, I want to change like that.
First thing first, as what was the turning point in my life? See, from my childhood, we have had this rural interaction because we used to go for a vacation and see what the thing was. Uniform services have held a special charm for me,
Correct.
because we could perceive that this is one service which can make some cut through right decision making immediately. Number one. Number two, in any scenario, especially in a feudal mindset society of UP or Northern India, there are many cliches. You know, there are very many tags which have been assigned to a girl right since the birth. I was fortunate to have a very good parenting, very progressive looking parenting. They gave me equal opportunities. And incidentally, when I was doing my mechanical engineering, then all the professors of that college were after my life. That third semester, you please change your thing. You have a high rank. You will get computer sciences. You will get electronics. You please go in for that. No girl does mechanical engineering. You know.
You should have been the only girl in the class, no? You should have been the only girl in the class.
That time, I was the only mechanical engineer. But you know, you have to hold, if you made a decision and you have to hold on to that. And therein lies your strength of your character.
Correct.
So my moment was that when I saw what was happening and when I saw that women folk, even if they are in 60s, 70s, 80s, they do not have any say in decision making of a rural set, a rural household, rural scenario. Then we as a position, if we are studying in such good schools, if we are having this kind of education, if we can come up in this way, then we should be in a position where we can make their life somewhat easy.
Great.
That was the crux, which guided me ki, theek hai, if you have to make certain things, then you have to be in this position. You have to come to a civil services scenario wherein you can make it. And believe me, policing is one thing immediately, you know, every day you are able to make certain life-altering decisions in somebody's life, and then you get some good wishes, and then you are very satisfied in the night that, oh, I'll get a good sleep tonight. You know,
lovely.
that is the thing. And as far as what I would like to change is that, if you ask me, then what I will say is that there shouldn't be any field in which, you know, especially in education, in career counseling, in skill development, you know, there are very cliche. Even in government policies, there are very cliche. You know, if you want to career counseling someone, then these are field, you know, I still, even today, I had gone for a government meeting and we were discussing about skill development courses to be taken, and they had very, एक will be with sewing machine and stitching courses,
Oh my
and one
God.
beauty thing courses, and the other will be what will be programming. That is their forward-looking approach, programming courses. My thing is that as of now, children, especially girls, if they have had some education, there is nothing which they cannot do.
Correct.
You cannot bound them. This is a pink world. You know, I have much irritation with that pink world also.
Yeah,
This is a pink
absolutely.
world. This is a pink world, and you have to have a sewing machine. If you are doing charity, then distribute sewing machines to them and get them into a beauty course, and then they will be able to earn their livelihood. Yes, it is a coming up field. It is a coming up field, no doubt about it. Yes, it is much in demand, because why? The girls have never been told that yes, they can go out and they can do. Today we have got certain courses included for girl trainees at ITI, like tractor repairing. If you want to do, you can do. Agricultural kiosk handling, that if you want, if you are educated, you know of the government schemes, you know of the banking schemes, you come up this way. Banking Sakhi is one thing which UP has taken up in a very big way, and nobody thought. It was our consultation, we discussed and we decided that banking is one service which, if you are going into micro rural financing, then why not through a female representative who can be trained to proceed well.
Correct.
So now we have more than 55,000 banking Sakhis working into rural scenario. So this is what has to be done immediately. You cannot ironclad a woman into a role which has been into the society since ages. This is a changing world, and everything can be done by females also.
Yeah, true that. Thank you so much for being patient enough and nice enough to answer those questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Over
you,
to
ma'am.
Manisha. Yes.
Yeah, and now I would invite CA Prachi Malhotra to give a vote of thanks. Prachi, are you there? Yeah.
Prachi ma'am, please unmute.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Thank you, MOC. कोमल है कमजोर नहीं तू, शक्ति का नाम ही नारी है, जग को जीवन देने वाली मौत भी तुझसे हारी है. Happy Women's Day to all. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Prachi Malhotra, practicing chartered accountant from Bilaspur, Chhattisgarh. I got this opportunity to deliver vote of thanks to all the dignitaries assembled here for this program. The world is full of diamonds and gems, and we are having some of them here today to build this program. With this note, and on behalf of our chairman of CIRC, I take this golden opportunity to thank our honorable chief guest, Mrs. Lakshmi Singh Ma'am, Inspector General of Police, Lucknow, who gave time from her busy schedule and attended this program. We will cultivate the advice which you had given us in real life. Thank you, ma'am. I extend my gratitude to our Honorable Chairman of CIRC, CA Atul Mehrotra ji, Honorable Vice Chairman of CIRC, CA Kishore Baradia ji, Honorable Secretary of CIRC, CA Lokesh Maheshwari ji, Honorable Treasurer, CA Rajiv Gupta ji. Your advice is very valuable to us and will help us to achieve many future endeavors. Thank you, sir. It's my pleasure to thank all the dignitaries, CA Preeti Salva ma'am, Central Council member, CA Priya Kumar ma'am, Central Council member, CA Soumya Ram Iyer ma'am, corporate trainer and soft skill coach, not only for participating, but also giving their valuable suggestion and advice. Thank you, ma'am. Now I would like to thank our program coordinator, CA Manisha Biani ma'am, Regional Council member. Without you, this program cannot be a successful one. Thank you, ma'am. Before I end, I must say a big thank to our exceptional audience, who is highly engaged and extremely disciplined. Without you, this program cannot be a successful one. Once again, I thank one and all wholeheartedly. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Prachi. I would like to end, beautiful girls out there. You were born to do great things. So believe in yourself. So sign off. Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Should I close?
Thank you.
Thank you, Soumya, ma'am.
Thank you, Soumya ma'am.